As mentioned before, and probably I should start off with this. In 2010, I was very frustrated with how little was actually happening around climate change, but I actually co-founded a group called Project Neutral. It was a group around trying to help individuals and try to help local communities move to carbon neutrality. It's a great organization that still exists today and doing really great work. So my next step was to jump into government to see if we could do more, and I really trusted the Liberal Party to be serious about tackling climate change. I mentioned to you that we have about 50 plus actions underway right now to tackle climate change. And right now we've committed and are spending $63 billion to put all of those into effect. Some of the things that we've already done is price pollution. We're phasing out coal by 2030, and we're putting in a Just Transition Act, which is going to help workers transition from the coal mining work they're doing into other areas. We are about to introduce clean fuel standard, a new clean fuel standard by 2022. We're planning on cutting methane emissions in half for the oil and gas sector. We've doubled the number of nature protected to 17% of land and 10% for marine. And in this 2019 budget, we are moving to protecting 25% of our land and 25% of our water. We've made a historic investment in clean tech. We've announced a ban on single-use plastics beginning in 2021, using the very best in class from Europe. We've made a historic investment in public transit. We put $2 billion in disaster mitigation and an adaptation fund, and I can go on, but I don't have a lot of time. What we're going to do for the next what we've promised for the next 4 years is we are going to implement a net zero by 2020 commitment, and we are going to legislate changes that we have to make progress every 5 years, because we want to make sure that we are on track to be achieving net zero by 2050. We are going to continue to support clean tech in Canada. We're going to be retrofitting 1.5 million homes to be more energy efficient by providing free energy audits. We're going to be providing a lot more. We're going to be doing a lot more work around disaster mitigation and adaptation. Ralph Goodale started the work of actually starting to get flood maps for across Canada. We're going to finish up that work, so everybody's going to have a full map of where the planned flooding or flooding risks are going to be in Canada. We're going to come up with an insurance system and then a way to work with cities in terms of how to relocate people if we have to. We're planning on now planting 2 billion trees. So on and on. We have a list of commitments in the 2019 budget, but we're very serious about tackling climate change. We know that we have to move faster. I believe we have to do a little bit more than what we've already announced, but that's part of the reason why I'm running again, is because I feel like I want to be in the ring and fighting for us to be achieving our 2050 targets and doing even more than what we've committed to, than be outside of the ring and complaining and not being able to do anything.